I keep getting the same questions popping up, whether it's in my DMs or in the comment section or in person at a Q&A panel. So it's time to have the conversation about teleprompters. Hey, I'm Molly from Visibility Hacking Studios, and I don't use a teleprompter. In today's video, we're going to talk about why. But first, we'll start out by talking about how to use a teleprompter in the first place. Then we'll talk about the benefits and disadvantages to using a teleprompter, and I'll share with you what I like to call the middle way teleprompter technique. So if you want in on this debate, stay tuned. Now, I wanted to have my teleprompter here to show you for this video, but I actually can't find it. I have two of them hidden somewhere around the studio, but I so seldomly use them. But don't worry, I'm still going to show you how to use a teleprompter. So the first thing I want you to do is gather your supplies. You can purchase great teleprompters off Amazon. You can find ones that fit your smartphone. So that's the second thing you're going to need is your phone. And then the third thing is to download some sort of teleprompter app. Of course, I'll put my links to the ones that I prefer to use down in the description of today's video. But if you're not watching on our YouTube channel, then go head over there and all the links will be available to you. Once you figured out your script that you're going to be using, you're going to load it onto your teleprompter app. You're going to bring it up on your phone. You're going to place that phone onto the little ledge on the teleprompter. That then will reflect what's on your screen off of the mirror, and you'll be able to read it, but it won't be captured on your recordings, which is so cool. You have to make sure that you have mirrored your text so that you can read it in the mirror, but that's just a simple little click of a button on most teleprompter apps. My big tip for you is to adjust the speed. There are more expensive apps that will actually change the speed based on your talking speed, but most apps don't do that. So you'll have to figure out what a talking speed that feels more natural to you is going to be, and then to set that on your app. And then the next step is to place your teleprompter in front of your camera. Now, most teleprompters are designed to work with larger DSLRs as well as smaller point-and-shoot cameras. You can even mount them on top of your computer and utilize your webcam as well. And finally, the most important part of this is to practice. Using a teleprompter is a different technique. It's a different style, and it can very much change the way that you talk. So if you don't want to sound really robotic, then make sure you practice, practice, practice. Which brings us to our question of the day. I'm curious, are you a teleprompter person, or are you very much against it? Are you trying to dip your toe in and see what it's like? Let me know down in the comments. So I'm going to share with you one big benefit and one big disadvantage of using a teleprompter. The biggest benefit to using a teleprompter is when you have a much larger script. It enables you to read off the script without breaking eye contact to your camera. This makes you look more natural, but it can also show up with that disadvantage of making you sound a little bit more robotic. Think of it this way. We all have a reading voice versus a casual speaking voice. So the objective when practicing and using a teleprompter is to find your way on that spectrum, away from the reading voice and more towards the relaxed conversational voice. Now, before I tell you how to do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and join us here on the channel. Ring that bell so you're notified of all of our videos when they're first released. And that also includes our live shows. In order to sound more natural when using a teleprompter, I use what's called the middle ground technique. Instead of writing out entire scripts and following along word for word, instead what I do is I write out just my key points. This way I can still riff and talk off the top of my head, but I have a structure in which I have to follow. This makes sure I stay on topic. It's kind of like using cue cards rather than reading off word for word from a script. Now, whether you're using a teleprompter for speeches on stage or for recording great video content, what I want you to focus on is building your basic communication skills. Because when we build a solid foundation of those skills, all of the rest of those presentation skills, all of that charisma will start to come naturally. So if you want to know more about building your communication skills, I've got a great playlist for you. You can check that one out. And I've also got another another video you definitely want to get to know if you're working on building your charisma and creating better communication, better presentations. So check those out. I will see you in our next one. And until I do, remember I love you, be excellent to each other, and just go live. Your people are out there waiting for you.